So are you a sneakerhead or a reseller? I'm asking this question because as I scroll through my YouTube feed, I'm seeing nothing but people telling me to buy now, trying to push these early pairs, saying I told you so, the price is gonna skyrocket, where 9 times out of 10, we've seen this happen time and time again, where people purchase these early shoes only to get burned, as they more than likely could have grabbed these for retail when they actually drop. So it looks like we got new rumors circulating. Unfortunately, this looks to be bad news for the real sneakerheads, and unfortunately, resellers, they're gonna love this one. So you're watching John Alexander TV. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so here's the tweet which has been circulating. This comes from a particular Jordan Brand insider, which for the most part, he's been pretty accurate, very insightful, but has been wrong a few different times, but for the most part, been very accurate. Now, what we're looking at right here, this is a bunch of Jordan OG releases, except for, I think, the French Blue, which if I'm not mistaken, that was one which they did drop, shortly after MJ's time with the Wizards, but everything else looks to be a good classic OG, a lot of great pairs. It looks like all of these are going to be scheduled to drop coming up this year. So as we take a look here at the list, I did notice we also got the Shadow 10s, which I had no clue those are actually going to be dropping this year. So we already got a crazy stack lineup here for the 40th anniversary, and you can add another pair for the list. Well, at least for me right here. So I remember having a lot of great memories rocking those back in the day. Definitely great Jordan retro. So happy to see that pair returning as well. So we got a couple of 10s coming. We haven't had some 10s dropping a while, I feel like. So a lot of great pairs dropping. Now, according to the tweet, it reads, the majority of these will not have stock. We are custom. Y'all heard the scale back. I thought it wasn't going to affect Jordan Brand until like midway through the year, but here we are. So prepare accordingly. So it looks like this is bad news for the real sneakerheads who have been eating up all of these, great prices. As far as resellers, I feel like they're loving this because all I'm seeing, as I scroll through YouTube, are a whole bunch of dudes telling me to buy early. I try to tell you, I tried to warn you guys, the price is going to skyrocket on these. So it seems like they're going to absolutely love this news right here. And as far as sneaker resale, we know it's not what it once was. A few years back, it felt like almost every Jordan retro had resale value, but nowadays it doesn't really seem like that's the case for the most part. It feels like if you're patient and you wait for the release date, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be able to grab these pairs for retail on the drop date. And we kind of see that right here, as according to Eldon Monitors, you got a whole bunch of these pairs which have restocked. We've been seeing these pairs restock periodically. These are a lot of recent Jordan retro. So just for example, right here, you got the black cement 3s. These dropped all the way back in November. These are regarded as like one of the greatest Jordan retros of all time. People were saying these were going to be like a huge seller. Resale value was going to be crazy. But look right here, while you don't have full size runs, these are restocking periodically. Right now, you got sizes 10 and under available. So for me, I'm not really falling for the resale games, but then again, of course, we do have this new word from Mr. Unloved One saying that all of these pairs moving forward are going to be a lot more limited, a lot more difficult to grab. So I feel like resellers, they're loving this, but as far as like the real sneakerheads, you can already imagine people are going to be kind of upset about this. So let's go ahead and see what the people are saying here in the comment section. This dude, Chris versus everybody, he said, this limited stock does nothing but affect legacy buyers who care about the brand. All this because sneakers as a whole industry was in decline. Jordan Brand will learn the hard way, and that's my honest opinion. Feel you on that one right there, bruh. But I feel like at the end of the day, people are still going to continue to buy Jordan retros. It doesn't really matter if they're mad that these particular releases are going to be a little more difficult to cop. So Dre put, I'll get whatever I can get and leave it there. They responded to reselling by oversaturating the market, and now they're going to alienate consumers with limited stock on shoes people actually want. So yeah, they're referring to like the big wave of people buying Jordans in 2020. It seems like Nike kind of forecasted the stock numbers based off that demand and almost oversaturated the market over the last couple of years, which in return, we're seeing a lot of Jordans sitting, pairs going on sale. And what makes it even better for sneakerheads, we're able to eat these joints up and grab shoes for retail or sometimes even under retail. But it seems like Nike's looking to preserve the legacy. They're trying to boost these resale prices back up. 49ers for life. He said, I'm in the final days of collecting, but limited stock news is frustrating as hell. It's 2025. The exclusivity argument is tired, with older collectors like myself aging out and younger generation not as tied to Jordan Brand. Jordan Brand would be smart to up stock numbers to entice new fans. I feel like that's a good point as well. Somebody else put scale back with the quality be better. I don't really know. I feel like the quality's kind of been the same. You know, this is typical Nike stupidity. We know sales are down, so limiting their most popular releases makes no sense. I understand the marketing concept behind it, but it's not the time for it. They said stock down, MSRP, retail up. Yeah, man. I mean, on top of that, we got retail prices going up. So if you guys were looking to get your hands on any of these Jordan releases, unfortunately, it looks like it may be a little more difficult than we all thought. And as we look back here at all of these Jordan OGs, while I got very fond memories, owned several of these pairs in the past. You know, I've definitely had a pair of Taxis, definitely had a pair of Shadows, Bugs Bunny 8s. Had a pair of the Cement 4s. But as far as everything else, I mean, I'm not really too excited about all of the stuff releasing. While I have a lot of love and memory for a lot of these pairs, I would say out of everything dropping right here, my favorites, of course, at the top of the list would have to be the black metallic 5s, of course, the white Cement 4s, and then out of everything else, I'm gonna go with the Taxis just because that was my very first pair of Jordans all the way back in '97 as a kid. That's the one that started it all. So a lot of great pairs dropping. Let me know if you guys are excited for any of these pairs. Which ones are on your radar? And do you feel like these shoes will be as limited as the rumors suggest? I think the first big testimony, of course, will be these black metallic 5s, which are going to be dropping coming up top of February. This will be a very big indicator, you know, of what the tone will be as far as Jordan retros moving forward here for the rest of the year. I'm calling cap on this one though. I feel like these pairs are going to be not super limited, not all of them. I feel like we're going to be able to get our hands on these. So as far as real sneakerheads, do not panic. But a release that you may want to panic about, of course, will be these Bread 85 highs, which we're going to see a lot of people grabbing these. Most of the people that cop these are probably going to look like this dude right here. But as far as this release, we already know the word is extremely limited. So as we continue to monitor stock numbers, these joints are not going down at all. We got people paying $1,000 plus for this, which is absolutely mind blowing. I don't know when's the last time that people were paying $1,000 plus for just a regular Jordan retro. I can't really recall the last time. I know Travis Scott joints be going crazy like that, but just for a Jordan retro like that, this is absolutely mind-blowing to me. And can you guys imagine if these would have dropped last year, they would have dropped, like, released these with a whole bunch of stock? Do you guys feel like prices would have been that crazy? But now with the word that these are going to be extremely limited, I feel like that's what's driving these numbers up like crazy. So this will be an interesting one, and we'll see what resale prices are looking like when these joints officially drop. And then before we bounce, I did make a video about this on my main channel, but for me, this is the most exciting Jordan retro release of the year. We got the Infinite Archives Jordan 17 Low. Now, as far as the 17 Low, we did get the All-Star pair. We got the UNC pair last year. Those were extremely limited. I don't care anything about limited availability. I just appreciate these joints, which are inspired, of course, by the old school Mike Bibby PE 17. So you gotta love these ones right here. And what nobody's really talking about, we did get word about the Infinite Archives collaboration last year towards the end of the year, but apparently there was supposed to be 2 different colorways as 2 different SKUs were discovered on the back end. So if we got this pair, one could only imagine what the other one's gonna look like. So we'll have to wait on that one. But for now, I just wanted to check in with you guys here for the latest Jordan news. So you're watching John Alexander TV. I appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed this update, make sure you guys smash the like button down below. I'll catch y'all next time. I'm out. Love.